Hey everybody, this is Mike, head of engineering here at Ooni HQ, and we've got an esteemed guest today, Chef Jason, the ace grilling expert. Welcome, Chef.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here to Ooni HQ.
Ooni HQ here in Scotland.
Right?
How's your trip been?
Been awesome. You have to help me answer something.
I'm here for you.
So many people say, of course you can make dough because you're a chef.
Yeah.
And you have a mixer, and of course it's easy for you to make dough.
Sure.
But you've taught me something this week.
What do I tell you?
Well, what have you taught me?
How to make dough without a mixer.
Without a mixer,
Yeah.
which is so awesome.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be cool to show everyone how to make some pretty awesome uni dough.
We make awesome pizza ovens. You can make awesome pizzas in those pizza ovens. But even going a step further and making your own dough is really great too. Just 4 ingredients. We're gonna step through that right now.
4 ingredients.
4.
4 simple ingredients.
4 simple ingredients.
to make great pizza dough.
That's it. So warm water we're gonna start with. Yep. So we're gonna do our classic pizza dough. This is actually gonna be ready in 4 hours. So some people take, oh, doesn't dough take a long time to make?
Yep.
Yeah, it can. I make dough sometimes. I let it go for 72 hours.
Right, like those cold ferments or long ferment. They
Exactly.
call it, right?
I think people get overwhelmed when people start talking about fermentation and all this stuff. Yeah, you can jump into the science if you want.
Sure.
I love that part of it. But for some people, they just want to be able to make dough really quick with their family, and they get overwhelmed by all the math and all the science. So we're gonna strip that all away. We're just gonna make easiest pizza you can make, ready in like 3 or 4 hours, and be good to go. Cool.
And I think this is the gateway to better pizza dough because I think 100%. Once you realize like how easy this is, now all of a sudden you're like, wait, what's this hydration or what's this
absolutely.
or what's that?
Yeah.
So I love it.
All I did was add 300 grams of warm water. And to that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt. So this is 10 grams of salt. Just like that. Cool. And on my little handy dandy Ooni scale here, I'm gonna measure out 7 grams of active dry yeast. So we're using active dry yeast in this recipe just because we're gonna make this really quickly. But there's all other types of stuff you can use. You can use fresh yeast, which is really popular in Naples. I prefer sourdough. There's all kinds of stuff you can do, but the easiest, most quickest way to make dough is just with active dry yeast.
And it's already coming alive.
There you go. So I'm just gonna give that a little bit of a whirl just to dissolve that salt and active dry yeast just a little bit. And then we're gonna be using some flour. So this flour is 00 flour, and it gets the name because it's really, really finely milled, really delicate flour. But again, you don't need 00 flour if your grocery store doesn't have it. Grab some bread flour, grab some all-purpose flour. That's how I started making pizza dough, all-purpose flour. Cool, so we're just gonna dump in 500 grams of my 00 flour. All right, right on, cool. And then I'm just gonna mix, without a mixer. Nope.
Without the mixer.
Without the mixer, without the mixer.
Scraper.
With the scraper, with a little spatula, whatever you want to call it. So this is super easy. This is something that you can do, say you want to have pizza night on a Friday night, Friday morning, whip this up together and just let it sit out. I like to do it with just the spatula here without a mixer because I think it's really quick and I like to get kind of my hands on the dough.
Could I double this batch and make extra pizza dough and freeze it? So literally I could make pizza dough once but use it to cook 2 or 3 times.
Yep, absolutely. I've got a friend who just had twins. She makes my pizza recipe all the time, and that's exactly what she does. She whips the dough together, she'll make a double or a triple batch, she'll make the pizza she wants to make, and then absolutely she'll ball up the pizza dough, and then she'll chuck those in little baggies and throw them in the freezer.
So this is like seriously like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not that much time.
And we mixed it, it's mixed.
Yeah, it's mixed. So literally I'm just gonna cover this with and it's not gonna look like really dough right now. It's just kind of, it's kind of just a mixture. That's fine. We're gonna let science and nature do its thing. I'm gonna cover that up with the towel. I'm just gonna let that sit.
How long do we let that sit?
Anywhere from like 15 minutes to an hour, really. This is stuff that we mixed up about an hour ago. And what you're gonna do is you take it out of the bowl and you're just gonna kind of give it a good stretch like this. Now, there's a couple things you can do from here, because I said, remember, we're gonna let it sit for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the rising part, right? Or the bench proofing or whatever they call it?
Yeah, so bulk, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna take that, I'm just gonna throw that on my bench, whether it's a countertop or whatever it is. If you don't have a lot of space, you can throw it back in the bowl, and we're just gonna cover that back up. And there you go, you're gonna let that sit for, again, 3 to 4 hours.
Till it's done.
Till it's done. Say you're like, you go to make this dough and you're actually making it for tomorrow because you found time the day before. Do this exact same step, just throw it into a container and toss in the fridge.
Now after 4 hours?
It's gonna look something like this.
And it smells incredible.
There you go.
Like you can smell that yeast coming alive, like doing exactly what we want it to do. And now this is the hard part, right? Super hard because you have to like measure and all that.
So I'm taking my pizza dough here. Our recipe from Ooni.com makes 4 really good sized pizza doughs.
Okay.
So I'm basically just gonna break this up into 4 pieces. If you've got a bench scraper, you can do it with a bench scraper. Literally, you can just do it with your hands if you've got. There you go. So half and half. So
give me one of those guys too.
Come on over here.
Myself a little flour.
So this is the balling technique here.
Yep.
So literally, all we're just gonna do is we're just gonna. We've got a smooth side on the top and our seam side on the bottom, so we're just gonna keep that the same. We're just gonna press the dough from the top, smooth it out, and press it up into the bottom, so keeping that smooth side really smooth and making our seam on the bottom. And then we're just gonna use the edges of our hands to seal that dough up on the bottom. You can use the bench, you can do a little rolling technique, whatever you want. To get a round pizza, you gotta start with a round dough ball.
All right, so now that these are set and ready to go, what do we do next? How long are we waiting before we're pizza ready?
Give them 15 minutes just to rest and get warm again. Let them sit, cover them with a wet towel, and then come back to it, and then you're ready to go. Start stretching dough.
Ready to make pizza. Yeah. And it's important to have a relaxed room temperature dough.
Absolutely.
Right? Because when we were in the kitchen knuckling and stretching, a warm dough is just so soft, and that protein is loose and that gluten is relaxed, and they just pull really beautifully, right?
So say we did make this on like a Thursday and we want to have it Saturday night for dinner, and I pull it out of the fridge. I would say pull it out 4 hours before at least you want to make pizza.
So let's say though I'm like super busy. It's a busy week for me, and I went to the store and I got some convenience dough.
Sure.
Like I can walk in my grocery store and buy this convenience dough ball. But so here's my question, right? It's good dough, right? It makes good pizza, but it always is a little bit wet. So how do I do?
Absolutely, I can help you out with that, chef. So there's absolutely no shame in going down to the store and buying some frozen or some fresh dough. A lot of times you might go to the store and you might see frozen dough balls, maybe look something like that. I mean, they're hard as a rock, right? Let these defrost overnight in the fridge again. Or if you're like, you know what, I just want pizza now, and you go down to the store and you get a fresh dough ball like this, that's fine, I can help you out with that. So first thing you're gonna wanna do is you are gonna wanna incorporate some flour into this. And I still would say at least give it an hour before you really start wanting to use this. Grab it out of the fridge, the more time the better. Grab it out of the fridge. If you just got it from the grocery store and you're like, oh, this is so wet and it's sticking to the bag and all that stuff, that's fine. Open it up, get a little flour on your surface. Yeah, thank you very much, chef. And just work out that pizza dough onto the floured surface.
So just pick up a little of that flour into the dough.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then you're just gonna do that same balling technique that we just did, and always re-ball that dough. Even if it's this fresh dough that you just got from the grocery store, you're always gonna wanna re-ball, because again, round pizza is gonna start with a round dough ball, okay?
So we picked up that flour, and actually you folded some of it up under to help pick up some of that moisture.
So you notice that wetness that you talked about, that wetness is coming. Yeah, absolutely, and it's coming from that fermentation, because that dough might have been made a few days ago. It's been sitting out. There might be some water vapor, some alcohol vapor in there, and you need to soak that up. So before you go to start and try to make a pizza right out of the bag with that, step back for a second, give it an hour, work some of the flour into it to take up some of that wetness, but also reshape it a little bit, make a nice round dough ball, and then you're done.
And now these dough balls are close to equal, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Absolutely. Like I said, what an awesome trip here to Ooni HQ, and Chef, I'm gonna get rid of my mixer. I'm putting it on. I'm selling it online.
Yes.
And I'm gone.
Thank you so much for coming by, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks for making dough with me. Thank you guys. Please go check out the recipe. Full recipes online at Ooni.com.